Hello, it's Charles with Uber Eats. Today is Thursday, the 15th of May, 2025, and I am blessed. I got the wake-up call today, and I got to see another day. I did another weigh-in this morning, and I'm at 142.4. That's following my refeed I did yesterday, Wednesday. I broke my fast after my doctor's appointment I had yesterday, the follow-up to cover my blood work. I broke that fast around 11:30, and then I started this last 48-hour fast of the week. After that, I got done eating about 1. I was there about an hour and a half, give or take. So now I'm not going to eat all day today, Thursday, and then I'm going to break this 48-hour fast around 11:30 tomorrow. And then after that, I'll be going into a 72-hour fast. I'm more or less weight-wise where I expected to be today. I looked at my calendar. I keep track of my weight in my calendar every day. And I've got a tablet in my car I write everything down in. And that 142.4 is right spot on average with my last 5 Thursdays in my calendar. So I'm back on track with my weight loss goals. I had gained some weight, like I said, early on in the month. Around the 1st or 2nd, my weight had started tracking back up. And I think that was mostly on account of my not walking as much. I'd gotten off track with my steps, and I had to change my, I had to shake up my eating pattern a bit because of my doctor's appointment I had on the 5th. That kind of messed up my timing because I wanted to make sure I was very well fasted for that appointment. And third thing that kind of screwed up my weight thing was my plasma donation. My protein was low that one day, and I had to miss that appointment, and then I had to eat more protein on the following day. Just, a bunch of things happened early on in the month that just screwed up my weight management goals. So nonetheless, I'm back on track, tracking back down towards my average weight of 138.5 is what I'm hoping to hit by the end of this month, May, which is where I ended up being the end of April. So that's going to be my target going forward as an average weight for every month, 138.5. Wanted to add, get on about the weather. It feels fantastic here right now. It's before sunrise, of course, but it's a breezy 79 degrees right now, and it feels fantastic out here. I love the hot weather, but it's nice to feel different climates and a breeze. It wasn't too breezy yesterday, and that was a bit brutal when I was out on my walk. Typically, pretty much every day down here, I've experienced some level of breeze, and it's very breezy right now, and I'm loving it. I'm hoping it stays this way the rest of the day. According to Google, it's going to get up to 98 degrees today and sunny skies, very little cloud cover, and it's going to be that way for the next 8 or 9 days down here. And then finally, we've got some rain in the distant forecast. Saturday, they are saying Saturday, it's going to be Saturday the 24th. They're looking at some thunderstorms potentially. That far off, it wouldn't surprise me if rain dropped out of the forecast altogether, or if that rain moved up to Friday or Thursday, or they pushed it back further, But nonetheless, I do hope we've got some rain coming. It's not going to help our drought situation. I don't think our drought situation down here in the Rio Grande Valley is going to be alleviated anytime this year. We're so far behind at this point. That guy on the radio I listened to 7:10 a.m. said that even after that flooding we had about a month ago at this point down here, even after that, we're still in drought conditions and still behind our average rainfall for February. We're still back in like rainfall that we'd have gotten by February, and hell, we're into May now. So if that tells you anything about how dry it is here, it's getting close to Vegas type drought conditions. That's just my opinion anyway. Right now I'm into my last 48-hour fast of the week. I broke this fast, my second fast of the 48-hour fast, with around 11:30. I had thought it was closer to noon, I believe, actually, because I got done eating around 1, and it takes me a little bit over an hour to eat at the buffet. I had expected to get there closer to 11, but I was held up pretty much at the doctor. I got there at 10 for my appointment, and she took a long time just getting me back into her room, and then I waited even longer in that little room for her. So nonetheless, I'm into my last 48-hour fast of the week, not for the month. I'm going to continue doing these rolling 48s and 72s. I feel great doing these. They're sustainable. I have good energy levels. They're comfortable at this point. That first 72-hour fast I had done wasn't even part of the challenge that YouTuber put me up to and his subscribers. I had already started that. I thought about doing one, and I had already started it. Then I literally the next day, that YouTuber put all his followers up to something new. He said, try something new with your diet or exercise routine, and commit to it for the whole month, and comment on my page about how it's going. If you're failing at it, succeeding, just anything you want to put in as a comment on my page. So I ended up doing that with relative ease. Like I said, that first 72-hour fast was a bit of a challenge, but the second one I did, that was actually part of the challenge. The first one of the month was easy, and everything got easier and easier throughout the month. And at this point, I'm 7 weeks in to these rolling 48s and 72s, and they're a piece of cake now. So this is my seventh one, I believe, 6th or 7th at least, 72-hour fast, and I've got no qualms with doing it. And what I love most about these is I can literally eat as much as I want. I don't sit there and eat so much that I get sick, but I can eat until I'm stuffed, and I can eat pretty much whatever I want. There's nothing there at that buffet that is terrible for my diet. The worst thing there is cake, and I pretty much only have 1 or 2 small squares of that cake there, and probably the peanut brittle is not all that good. I have a few squares of that, but the ice cream all in all isn't bad for you. I eat a lot of vegetables there, protein, lean chicken, fish, shrimp, rice, fried rice, white rice. They got a great variety of fruit: watermelon, cantaloupe, sometimes apples, lemons, and limes, banana. 90% of the stuff there is very healthy for you. And in general, I've improved my health, my diet greatly just by starting eating at this buffet, because I wasn't sticking to my OMAD at all when I was up in Oklahoma City working at that warehouse. It had vending machines in there that I just could not stay away from, So I wasn't adhering to OMAD as religiously as I had before I started living in Oklahoma City. I had stuck to OMAD very well when I was out in Vegas, but I got well off track, if I'm being honest, pretty much the whole time I lived in Oklahoma City. But I'm back on track now with my fasting. Since I've been down here, the beginning of February, I'm back on track with fasting, and I'm so happy that I found out about these rolling 48s and 72s. And this buffet, those two things, and the fact that I found Jerome, his YouTube page has just improved my health greatly and how I feel about everything. I will get into my blood work results, but I wanted to talk about a couple things real quick before I do that. I didn't end up doing any Uber Eats deliveries, mostly on account of I wanted to focus on my blood work and look at that after my doctor's appointment, and then after I got done eating. So that pretty much took up the rest of my day, aside from the walking. I got my 4 miles in yesterday. Those two things took up most of my day. So I decided not to mess with the Uber Eats app and just make up for that shortfall in money today tomorrow and the rest of the weekend, I should have no trouble getting back on track with my earnings goals, is my hope anyway. And if I don't hit it, I don't hit it. I'm not going to sweat it. This week, it was important to focus on my doctor visit, my follow-up, and making sure my blood work is in order. And it is. My blood work turned out overall great. So I'm happy to have learned that yesterday. As far as my walk, I did get in 4 miles yesterday. Felt great. It feels great to get back on track with my steps. The only thing I didn't like about yesterday, somebody's been letting their dog poop on my walk. That sidewalk that I follow. It's more of a trail than a sidewalk. Part of it's a sidewalk, but the rest of it is like a park style, wide paved path that bikers and walkers can use, dog walkers and skateboarders and stuff like that. Anybody that wants to get out and get some exercise. But recently somebody's been letting their dog poop directly on the sidewalk, which is just disgusting. It's bad enough to take your dog out and not clean up after them after they poop in somebody's yard or the grass along a walk, but it's not in a dog's nature to just poop anywhere they want. They want to poop in the grass, so that tells me that somebody's intentionally not giving a shit about their dog or anybody else that wants to use that sidewalk. And I believe I know who's doing it. There's a guy. I walk counterclockwise around that. I walk clockwise around that loop around my house, and there's a guy that I've been meeting the last week that walks counterclockwise. Well, he walks a good bit around that trail because I end up passing him a couple times. So he walks as much or more than I do around that, and he has 2 dogs. He's got a German Shepherd mix, and then another dog that is pretty much a full-bred German Shepherd. Well, and this poop is very big dog shit. So I'm thinking it's got to be him because he's the only one that walks large dogs on that walk that I'm accustomed to around that. I've walked enough around that to get to know people, and I see pretty much the same people there all the time, and they've all got little dogs. This is the only guy that has large dogs that I come across, so I'm pretty sure it's him that's not cleaning up after his dogs. There's nothing I can do about it. Even if I were to catch him, it's not my place or business to approach him and get on him about it. But it's just it just disgusts me. It doesn't really bother me to have somebody let their dog poop in the grass because it's eventually going to deteriorate and go away, and nobody's going to be walking in it. But it's a very rude and disgusting behavior that this guy, I believe, is up to anyway. But anyway, I did a little bit of a detour. I had realized yesterday when I got up that I was low on my Monster drink, and I figured this gas station that I pass on my walk would have them. I had never been in there before. I normally don't cross the street to go over there, but it's a 7-Eleven, just like the it's a Stripes, but it's actually a 7-Eleven, and it's a Stripes store just like the one I'm at now that I normally come to in the morning and get my stuff. Well, I went in there to replenish my supply, and I'm glad I did. They've got a new flavor of that Monster hydration drink that I have. It's the Monster Revive Monster Rehab. They have peach tea that I've never seen before, so I bought one. I wasn't sure if I would like it, so I just bought one of those, and the other 2 I got of the tea and lemonade that I know I like. This peach tea is fantastic. I don't like it quite as well as the lemonade and tea one, but it's right up there. I'm going to get it every time I get the tea and lemonade, and I'm considering getting the green tea. I had said before that I don't care for the green tea, but I have never actually tasted it. I've got a bad impression in my mind about green tea in general because one time a grocery store I used to work at had a Starbucks in it, and they were giving out samples of Starbucks green tea, cold brew. and I tried it and I didn't like it. Well, I thought that over, recently about the green tea that's Monster has, and I thought, well, maybe it's just Starbucks blend of green tea I didn't care for, and this will be an entirely new experience. So next time I need to replenish my Monster Revive and Refresh drinks, the ones that hydrate you, I'm going to try and buy just a can of that green tea and see if I like it. I may find out I like it nearly as well as these other two, But anyway, I'm up to 174 miles walked now towards my 1,000-mile walk goal for 2025. So back on track with my steps. Well, as far as my blood work goes, I had no big surprises. Pretty much it all worked out, and I got nothing that alarmed me. And the doctor said there's nothing alarming about your blood work. And there's nothing about your blood work that I feel I need to prescribe medication to correct. So that's overall good news. And she said, you appear to be in very good health. Your lungs sound good, your heart sounds good, your weight is good. Your blood work is definitely good for somebody your age, nearly 50. So that all, to be honest, I was a little bit anxious coming to this to the doctor yesterday to talk about my blood work, because I didn't know what entirely to expect. But overall, I've got good news from my blood work. She said I was low on some things and high on some things. I was low on my absolute lymphocytes, which is that's a type of white blood cell, and that being low can indicate that your body is fighting some sort of an infection. I measured 0.77, and I should be at 1.0 to 4.0, so I was slightly low there. My protein was low, which was not a surprise at all. Of course, I've been low at a few of my tests that I've taken at the plasma center, and I've corrected it by improving my protein intake. So that was no surprise, and it didn't occur to me, to up my protein intake for my doctor's appointment, because I needed to stay fasted to make sure my blood glucose was in order. I wanted that number to be low. So naturally my protein was going to be low for that blood work that I had drawn. I was low in my calcium globulin. I measured 1.6, and I should be 1.9 to 3.7. That is a measurement of your calcium and protein balance in your body. I didn't know what that was. I had never heard about it before, and I looked at my blood work from Vegas, and it was also low. I didn't talk about it back then to my doctor. He didn't bring it up. He looked at my blood work, and he never mentioned that particular measurement in my blood. So it didn't alarm him then, and that didn't really alarm my doctor yesterday. She wasn't too concerned about it. She just said, what I can do to improve that was similar to what I need to do with my protein, is just up my protein in my diet. And something else she told me to improve that particular number, the calcium globulin, I need to start taking my multivitamin every day. And I had admitted that to her in my initial visit, that I do take a Centrum Silver multivitamin, but I don't take it every day. She said, just start taking that every day, and this particular measurement should get back in order. So that's what she had to say about that. And then finally, the other bad thing about my blood work, my triglycerides are high. The fat in my blood, my triglycerides was 211, and it should be below 200, so that was slightly high. I've got too much fat in my blood, and she said to correct that, I need to get more exercise into my lifestyle, and I need to reduce my fat intake, my saturated fat intake, and improve my diet in terms of, my balance of vegetables and just healthier food. And she said my LDL cholesterol was high. It was at 111, and it needs to be below 100. And pretty much the same advice was for that. To improve that, I need to get more exercise in my life, less sugar, and less saturated fat in my diet to improve that. Now, in terms of my blood sugar and my metabolic health, which is diabetes, of course. My bun number was 11 yesterday, and last year my bun number was 9. Now that bun number, I wrote that down. I looked it up last year, and I keep forgetting what that has to do, so I wrote it down again. Give me a second. I'm gonna pause this. Okay, here it is. Your bun number is measures your kidney impairment. So it needs to be between 6 and 20. Now, so my bun number is right where it needs to be. It was last year and this year it was right where it needed to be. And my hemoglobin A1C was 5.3, and it was 5.3 last year, and that's right where it needs to be. My A1C needs to be at 4.2 to 5.6, so that number is in order, both last year and this year. And then finally, the third thing that has to do with my blood sugar and my metabolic health was the glucose number was at 73 this year, which is quite a good bit better than it was last year. Last year it was at 97, and that number, my glucose to be healthy needs to be 70 to 99. So last year it was close to being too high. If I recall, the way I was eating back in Vegas, I was eating in the morning. I was eating OMAD and eating the same thing every day. I was going to I was going to Denny's. They don't have Waffle House out there. They have Denny's, and I was going to Denny's literally every morning and eating the same thing. Pancakes with their cinnamon roll pancakes, hash browns, bacon or ham. I'd switch it up from time to time, and their toast, of course, and a coffee. I was eating that every day for nearly a year, and I pretty much did the same thing going into that doctor's appointment. I ate the day before at noon, and I was about give or take 12 to 15 hours fasted. So not nearly as long as fasted as I was this year. This year I was about 68, 70 hours fasted going into this blood work, and that resulted in better hemoglobin, that hemoglobin number, glucose number. So that all made sense in terms of my metabolic health. So again, I asked her at the end of the checkup, well, overall, how was my blood work? And she said, your blood work's fine. There's nothing alarming about it at all. Just try to start taking your multivitamin every day, and try to get more fish. Eat more fish as part of your protein intake, and less chicken. So that's something I can do. I'm not entirely crazy about their fish that they have at the buffet. So I'll probably try to eat more shellfish, that shrimp up there. Not as much of their fried shrimp. They've got regular shrimp that's mixed with peas and carrots. So I'm just going to increase that and eat less chicken. And hopefully that'll also keep my protein up high enough to not screw up my plasma donations. So I just got more to keep in mind when I go to the buffet now. But that's why I had my blood work done. I like this doctor. I'm definitely, if I'm still down here next year, I'll schedule another appointment again. She wanted me to come back and see her in 6 months, and I'm not going to do that. I didn't tell her that. I said, yeah, I'll come back and see you. She said, the office will send you a text reminder to schedule another appointment, or you can schedule it now in the office. I didn't do that. I just left. I'm not going to go back unless I start feeling really sick and down, and it's not something I can correct on my own. I'll get in to see her, of course. I'm not going to let myself die, but my intentions, unless something happens with my health drastically, is just to go to see the doctor once a year and get an annual physical and blood work is my plan for the short term. That's about it. I nearly forgot, I had a great conversation with my cousin back in southern Ohio yesterday. Talked for a good bit, I know it was over 2.5 hours. I had already decided at that point, it was daylight by, around the time we were talking, and I had already decided I wasn't going to do any Uber Eats deliveries. So I had a bit of time to talk to her, and that was a joy. I love talking to my cousin on the phone. She doesn't know this, but it's a great therapy for me to talk to her, and just to know somebody. I've got somebody, a family member on my side that I can talk to and share my thoughts, plans, and secrets with. It's a comfort, because I'm out here in Texas all by myself, which I like. I don't need anybody. I don't need any family members, nearby me. But it's good to have somebody to talk to from time to time that you can trust, especially when it's a family member. And she's the one that I write to a good bit. I write her a lot. I write her more than I do my aunt, in fact. And then quite a good bit more than, of course, I write my landlord, which I need to do that soon. I need to write my landlord soon, and I need to write my aunt again. My landlord is probably out in France now. She told me she had booked a flight to France, so I need to write her soon and find out how that was. She'll be getting back from there, I think next week is what she told me. And I'd love to hear about how her trip was, if she saw Paris or what part of France she went to. Don't have much planned today. I'm not eating today, of course. This is a fast day. I'm just going to get as many Uber Eats deliveries in as I can and do the best I can with my interactions with customers and get some more thumbs up and improve my customer service score. And then just stay busy, and then carve out enough time this evening to get another 4 miles in around my house where I live. Well, I'm going to get off here. God bless you all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.